The summer of 2019, a decision nobody saw coming. The hard-nosed 6'7", gifted four-time All-Star, exiting his 20s, entering age 30.
The most contributing factor to you is you solidifying this decision to me. To tell you the truth, it's the culture that I hear about all the time. You know, the work that you put in every single day, the winning habits, the winning ways. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? I was excited to have an opportunity to come here, to be here. But I mean, when I keep hearing about this culture, I was like, I need that in my life.
In a crazy summer free agency time, all the talks about Kyrie and KD joining the Nets, Kawhi and PG to the Clippers, Jimmy Butler to Miami swept under the rug, a team that missed the playoffs, going 39-43 after Dwayne Wade's retirement, led by Goran Dragic, Justice Winslow, and Dion Waiters. Many laughed at Jimmy's decision to take his talents to South Beach, including myself, believing he was crazy to join a non-playoff team after being on the loaded Sixers, coming off a second-round Game 7 loss by 3 separate bounces, leaving away a team who's supposed to be the next dynasty in #1 pick Ben Simmons and franchise center Joel Embiid. No accident both haven't gone past the second round yet. A head-scratching decision from leaving Joel to joining Dragic, but many didn't recognize Butler's vision, needing a team with his mindset, an executive in Pat Riley, hard-nosed, super competitive, a winning attitude, expecting nothing less from performing your best. Head coach Eric Spoelstra earned his way to the top. The pieces team got rid of: role player Josh Richardson, the lazy Hassan Whiteside, and a pick thanks to Mark Cuban's incompetency. Team held on to Goran Dragic, supposed to be traded to Dallas. Entering year 3, Bam Adebayo inserted to the full-time starting role. Team discovered future NBA Finals starting point guard Gabe Vincent, signed him to his first two-way deal January 8, 2020, played 9 games that season, earned G League Most Improved Player, proved himself in 2021 Summer League before earning a standard deal, got rid of James Johnson, Dion Bad Attitude Waiters, the injury-prone Justice Winslow, for vets Andre Iguodala, Jay Crowder, and Solomon Hill. Before the bubble, it was rookie Kendrick Nunn bursting out. Dragic came off the bench, averaged over 16, a well-balanced squad, respectable 44-29 record. The 5th seed had a plus 6,000 preseason title odds. Jimmy wasn't a one-man show many believed him to be. A well-balanced roster, team ran through him, Dragic, and Bam, who finished 5th for DPOY. Jimmy actually took just 13 shots, his fewest since the 2014 season, while Kendrick, who's barely in the NBA, Nunn attempted most. Jimmy also a career best in assists. Nunn had to leave the bubble due to personal reasons and reportedly out of shape, which led to Dragic in the lineup ever since falling out. A 4-5 matchup with the banged up Pacers, no Domantas Sabonis, a disgruntled Victor Oladipo seen chatting with Heat players. Rumors emerged about him teaming up in Miami, later turned out true. Pacers' only hope was to pray for Bubba Warren to save them, but became his normal self. Jimmy Butler destroyed him. Both him and Dragic took care of business, swept the Pacers. While many picked them to lose round 2 to #1 Milwaukee, led by the 2-time MVP. Although the Heat matched up well, having a multitude of defenders, Bam, Crowder, Iguodala, and Butler, Spoelstra exposed Giannis' lack of jumper, led him away from the rim, Coach Bud lack of adjustments, plus Jimmy outshining the MVP. The 40-piece Game 1 set the tone that whole series, game-winning free throws to seal Game 2, Jimmy outscoring Giannis 30-21 Game 3, a series Bud played Giannis less than 30 minutes on average. A masterclass coaching job by Spoelstra. Conference Finals versus Boston, another excellent coaching job by Spoels. Realizing the smaller Daniel Tice started at center with Enes Kanter the backup allowed Bam to attack brutally non-stop. No accident. Adebayo's best series to this day, averaged 22-11 over 5 assists, a clutch block on Tatum Game 1, Dragic exposed the vulnerable Kemba Walker, Tyler Hero's 37 masterpiece Game 4, the season Boston needed Al Horford most, Miami had the most cohesive unit, better chemistry, Butler after being viewed as a team cancer and hated for leaving Minnesota softies and out of Philadelphia after several months. He saw the weak attitude of Simmons falter, Jimmy's true legacy paving the way for Heat culture. Spoelstra proved he was a much better coach than Brad Stevens, the #1 5th seed to reach the finals. It wasn't luck. No, the bubble wasn't no fluke either. Despite what the talking heads say, going 12-3 in the East, their versatility, building a team with alpha dog Jimmy, a two-way beast, decent passer, but not the best outside shooter, the team complemented everyone's liabilities, having two shooters in Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, occasionally Kelly Olynyk and Myers Leonard, mixing in with defenders Crowder and Iguodala, one of the top 5 defensive bigs in Bam, and one of the most crafty players in Dragic. Team looking like they could truly contend with the Lakers, but sadly caught a bad break. Dragic foot injury game 1, plus Bam hurting his left shoulder in garbage time. Before the finals, the Dragon actually the team's leading scorer through 3 rounds. Everybody just knew Miami didn't have enough, and a sweep inevitable. Before Jimmy gave his team a puncher's chance, a 40-piece, 11 rebound, 13 assist game 3, still one of the best games he's ever played. With Myers Leonard as his starting center, many anticipated a Lakers Game 5 win before Jimmy refused to go down. The help of Duncan's 26 clutch jumpers down the stretch, the intensity and heart, the iconic photo speaks 1,000 words, willing his team to 2 wins over the way better powerful Lakers with 2 top 5 players in the league. Ever since the bubble, many decided to forget about Miami and focus on the teams with the bigger name superstars. An underachieving 2021 year, 20 games missed by Butler, nobody to replace Crowder, swept round 1 but continued to find hidden gems. Matt Strus, waived by Boston October of 2019, earned a 2-way deal before a multi-year contract of just 1.7 and 1.8 mil, found himself part of the rotation next 2 seasons, a double-digit scorer, a controversial decision giving Duncan Robinson 5 years $90 million, traded the Dragon for Kyle Lowry, signed hard-nosed PJ Tucker, Caleb Martin, waived by Charlotte, picked up on a 2-way deal February 2022.
We were talking to Eric Spoelstra before the game, and he said a week before camp started, J. Cole, yes, J. Cole the rapper, called assistant coach Caron Butler and said, my guy Caleb Martin is available. So Coach Butler passed on the information to Eric Spoelstra. He said, could he come? We're scrimmaging tomorrow. He showed up, impressed everyone, became a 2-way player, and ever since was a huge part of the starting rotation until they had to decide to sign him full-time.
Gave 10 days to Hayward Highsmith, only played 5 career NBA games with 2019 Philly before converting to full-time. A 4-team race with Boston, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. The C started off poorly. Milwaukee's big 3 missed at least 15 games each. Sixers dealt with the Ben Simmons drama, and the Nets' dysfunction with Kyrie led to James Harden demanding out. Despite Butler and Bam missing 25 and 26 games apiece, Tyler Hero, PJ Tucker, Strus, and Martin all stepped up. An underrated Spo's coaching job, became the least talked about number 1 seed. The only elite team with no All-NBA guys, nowhere near the most talented on paper, but Jimmy Buckets elevated his play heavily, all playoffs, superstar level status, nobody else averaged above 15, Strus and Tucker, the other starters, with either Vincent or Lowry at the 1, with Oladipo off the bench, giving good D, Hero's offense, Martin and Robinson consider backups. The brilliance of Tucker, Bam, and Jimmy put Trae Young in basketball jail. Made the 2021 conference finals contenders seemed like a joke, held Young to under 16 points on average, 32% shooting, 18 from 3, 31 turnovers in 5 games, more total turnovers than assists or field goals made. Butler put up Jordan type numbers. Miami's D had many questioning whether Trae was even a star quality player. Unlike the shaken Celtics, who allowed themselves to lose to weaker teams, the injured Embiid out game 1 and 2, Miami took care of business, winning by 14 and 16. A wasted 40-piece by Butler game 4 made the series 2-2, only to dominate the next 2 35 and 9-point blowouts. Butler outscored Embiid and Harden combined game 6. Max Strus and even PJ Tucker outscored Mr. No-Show Harden. A typical game 6 beard collapse. Miami sucked the energy out of the whole Sixers. An ugly conference finals with Boston, way more functional last season, with Tatum, Brown, and Smart all focused. Nobody outside of Jimmy put up over 15. Tyler Hero suffered a groin injury game 3, out the next 3 before providing nothing but 6 minutes of game 7. Heat offense devastated, only limited to 82 and 80 points scored games 4 and 5, down 3 games to 2 before the classic Jimmy Butler monster 47-point masterpiece single-handedly kept his team alive. Many forgot Bam only scored 6 points that game. Boston took control early game 7, but Butler proved to be the best player in the series, put up 35 points, 9 rebounds. Another near Celtic collapse. Miami trailed 98-87 with 2:30 left. The questionable pull-up 3 in transition shocked everybody. Both teams tired legs. The moment Butler missed that shot could have ended the Heat title hopes. Many counted Jimmy out due to being age 32, with other contenders getting better. Many again underestimated the Heat and Butler's psychic abilities.
We had enough. Next year, we will have enough, and we're going to be right back in the same situation, and we're going to get it done.
Predicting the future.
On the road, third win in this series.
Intentionally losing games 4-6 to fulfill his promise. Legendary stuff. Not only did Miami struggle throughout the regular season, only Bam selected an all-star, Butler missed 18 games, 3 20-point scores, a lackluster 44-38 record after Brooklyn got rid of their stars. The fact that Miami couldn't avoid the play-in or catch the Nets. Nobody gave them a chance. Originally the 7th seed, but got ran out the gym to Atlanta in the play-in, needing to play the Bulls to clinch the final playoff spot. Many, including myself, completely written off Miami, believing the Bulls matchup wouldn't matter at all, as the Bucks would annihilate either both of them. But Chicago literally a 90-87 lead and a do or die with under 3 minutes left before Jimmy Buckets eliminated his former team, took matters in his own hands for good. Undrafted Matt Strus responding, championship DNA, the final 3 minutes. The first ever play-in team to make the finals. The Bulls actually gave Miami the toughest competition all conference, knowing they already beaten Giannis and Coach Buck before. Giannis and Tyler Hero's injury, the main stories of game 1, but new addition Kevin Love, the good luck charm. Every year Love's made the playoffs, goes to the finals. Butler, a Jordan-esque performance, made defensive first teamers Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez look amateurish. A playoff high 56 points, 19 of 28 from the field game 4, couldn't miss, including 21 in the 4th quarter. The worst he's made Holiday look. We thought Jimmy couldn't have a better game than the 47-point masterpiece, but proved us wrong again. Tied for the 4th most points in a single game all time in postseason play, while Giannis froze up in the 4th. Spoelstra outcoached Budenholzer, fired weeks later after sitting out Bam late game 5. Lopez also out, a game Miami wasn't supposed to win. Allowed an opening for Butler's insane catch and finish. The Bucks froze out, still time on the clock, did not call a timeout. When many still assumed Milwaukee had the easiest 3-1 comeback, Butler said none of that. A 42-point closeout, outplayed Giannis again. When many picked the Bucks to win it all, including myself, Jimmy Butler had other ideas. Averaged a series best 37.6 points on 60% shooting, 12 of 27 from 3, the highest point average in a first round series over the past 4 decades. Legendary stuff. From trash talking Drew Holiday and continue with the onslaught. Nobody else could have dominated Milwaukee in a more brutal fashion. Not to mention Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Strus, and Kevin Love, with Jimmy all shooting above 40% from 3 all series. A total team effort to oust the Knicks in 6 games, dominated with 31-point game 1 at Boston. Many teams not having home court be content stealing 1 on the road. While Boston up 96-89 with 6 minutes left after a Butler and 1, Jimmy absolutely destroyed, abused, annihilated, and humiliated Grant Williams. The worst decision Grant ever made. Left Brown and Tatum shook. Jimmy went to his sweet spots, unleashed his Jordan mentality, masterful calm demeanor, the peak definition of peak culture, not letting anybody mess with you. Gabe Vincent's 29 points game 3, outscoring Brown and Tatum combined. With Butler messing around, the undrafted 4 combined 89 points after Derek White's insane putback. With Jimmy's legacy against the ropes, Boston a chance at making history of their own, only for Caleb Martin and Jimmy Buckets to run the C's off their home floor. A convincing blowout made Game 7 look flawless, a total team effort. From Highsmith picking off Tatum to Robinson cutting for easy layups, good chemistry, 100% determination, strong foundation with an elite organization, top-notch coaching, allowing the undrafted guys to excel better than most lottery picks, a combination of Jimmy's attitude, work ethic, being the face of the proud franchise alongside role pieces, no matter where they were drafted or how they even got to the NBA. Everybody expected to be in the best shape of their life. Once training camp starts, you better be 100% without any excuses. It doesn't matter if you're LeBron James or an unknown G League guy who just got picked up. Kyle Lowry had to change his habits after being summoned to the Godfather's office, giving him a last chance to get his ass in shape. The intense scrimmages alongside Spo, not the most intimidating of coaches on the sideline. Having former players Keith Askins, Chris Quinn, and Caron Butler worked in the building for years. Been there, done that. If you're not serious about basketball like Dion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside, then get the fuck out. Either buy in or leave. Repetition, repeat, and perfection. Held to a high standard, embodied by the physical Alonzo Mourning, overachieving in the late 90s since Pat Riley took over. Once a poverty franchise, Spo now reaching his 6th NBA Finals. No matter the circumstances, key guys Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo getting hurt, the team will always believe they have a chance. As long as they remain in it, somebody will step up. Being disciplined, aggressive on D, outplaying the guys who were drafted, who you know they ain't better than you. Not the most talked about team or flashiest. How many regular season Miami highlights have social media posted? Exactly, they won't have the fancy dunks, no crazy celebrations, not cocky, will not showboat. They don't talk smack like the immature accomplished nothing Memphis Grizzlies. The Miami Heat, opposite of the Grizz, and actually walk the walk. Players won't be crying out for attention or make any excuses like the entitled Ben Simmons posting videos of him practicing threes, or Zion Williamson posting a 360 dunk, having 9-figure contracts, also having 1,000 excuses at the same time why they can't play. Both those guys wouldn't last a single minute for Heat culture. The Miami Heat guys simply put all their egos aside, absolutely show up to work, ball out through grit, blood, sweat, and tears, held accountable by one another, 15 players deep, plus the coaches, not get distracted by off-court nonsense, the exact opposite of Kyrie Irving's Nets tenure. Miami fights every possession, every second, go after every loose ball, every rebound, the entire rotation, laser focus, competing, making up for his lack of size and talent. Having no hesitation to book a flight to Denver before Game 7 even started, not going back to Miami, knowing they were gonna close out the series, shows extreme confidence and capabilities, excelling at the highest level. Franchise players Jimmy Butler offering tennis star Coco Graf NBA Finals tickets back in April. The determination in his second NBA Finals in 4 seasons, only the second 8th seed to do so. The franchise couldn't ask for a better player to match the qualities on what the team's truly about. And Udonis Haslem, the perfect vet to keep his guys in check. No other teams mix the best of unknown undrafted players, turning them to valuable contributors. UD certainly has an incredible impact. I was certainly wrong about him staying on the team forever, but his presence and leadership, elevating all their guys, a former undrafted player himself who worked his ass off to get to the top. All these role players maximizing their skill set, no other team would allow them to do so more than the Miami Heat franchise. The lesson learned by now, anytime when Jimmy Butler's in uniform, you can never count out Heat culture, a long-lasting legacy of inspiration.